So can you talk a little bit about how you got the opportunity to produce and direct Beast, and what was it about it that really excited you?
Well, Peter Kramer called me, during the COVID, about COVID-related things, and in our conversation, he asked me about what I was up to, and he said, would you be up to doing this kind of a movie for us? And I said, yeah, well, send it to me. Africa sounds great, and so does Idris Elba, and a lion, even more so, So that was the one thing, and the things that kind of got me excited. Then I realized also when I read it, it's a fine story, and I thought, okay, but it also has a real opportunity for filmmaking. I can play with this because it is not like plot heavy, and it's not like overly complicated. It's a very clean journey that I can put my kind of my touch on it, So that was kind of the and also, there's nothing about Africa that would keep me away, so.
And you mentioned Idris Elba, who was on board early on in the project, and he plays a complex character, a man who has his own struggles even before he arrives in Africa. So he goes through quite a journey, right?
Yeah, and that was a very, I could kind of see myself in that, and my journey through the, last few years, it was very close to that. So it was, even on a personal level, I thought, yeah, this is great. I can put my angst, my what I've learned over these years, and my own journey into it. And I think always when you do that, it's just more, it's more, gives you more to make films, to be able to do that. Like in the end, it's more, it's more fulfilling.
And what did an actor like Idris Elba bring to that character?
Well, he brings some, he brings first of all, a movie star, a huge charisma, sex appeal, whatever, all you want from a movie star. But he also brings soulfulness and real acting chops. And I think in a role like that, to give it a full-fledged character, you need that, And that's what I was really excited about is to dig in and go to the backstory and what they've been through and how he kind of gets it together in the end. And he's not trying to be a superhero. Even he's a little clumsy at moments, and he doesn't quite, both emotionally and physically, figuring out. But he's also somebody you believe at a certain point could do things that he does in the movie, and
And his two teenage daughters, played by Jana and Leah, were also amazing.
Yeah, it was a great pleasure to be able to audition, a lot of young girls for that role, and finding those, diamonds, in the rough, and working with them and giving them, like Leah, like the first big steps in this industry, and Ayana also, is breaking through in her work, and I think, I love that. That's also just part of what I love about my job, is to find talent and give them opportunity and help them take the steps, and then be an old man and say, yeah, I've been proud of that, I helped her, But it's really giving, and of course they are both incredibly talented. Leah has this comic strike, which is just, you can create. It's either you have it or not. And when I saw her, it's like, there's no question in my mind, And then the Yana, who was, she had to take on Idris and challenge him, and that's not a small feat, to challenge an actor like that and stand up to him, And I think so I was really happy with that. And then having Shelton Copley, which is presenting Africa in all its glory, and all the other people we had in the film,
Speaking of that, representing Africa, Africa is in the movie. You shot the movie in South Africa, and you managed to show the beauty, the mystery, the danger also with that extraordinary road line that you managed to create with special effects. Can you talk about the whole thing, shooting in South Africa, what that meant, and how you managed to bring this line to life on screen?
I mean, it meant everything to shoot in Africa, because you're creating a baseline of reality, and the reality of where the movie is happening. And you don't have to shoot around any corners. You can use that country. But it takes a lot of work to find that country inside that country. Because, there are endless acres of industrial, agriculture and stuff. But you have to find those demons and create it. Like we went from Namibia to Mozambique, borders inside South Africa to find those locations, and then back to Cape Town. This is 2/3 of U.S. So we were. It was the biggest scouting I ever done in my life, but because the baseline is rural Africa, South Africa, it does help to bring the lion into as much realism as possible at this stage in our industry and with the technique that we have. And I don't think we could have done that a few years back, not at this level, where the lion needs to be real lion, not a singing lion or talking lion or dancing lion, So I think, and then of course that was a huge challenge, going through and finding all the footage that how lions act, and we sourced with, Enric Prada and Framestore, we sourced every possibility of seeing how animals attack and lions attack, and then putting that in the one-shotters, which is even more complicated, and actually that was the stuntman who was working against Idris to create this, to react to and, to be tossed around with. He was raised on a lion farm, so he knew how lion went about. So we tried everything to make it as authentic and real as possible. And the same, very importantly, get the gravity of the lion, not only of the situation in the beginning, but also of the lion and his physicality.
And just to wrap up, I think it's important to also say that this movie conveys an important message about our need to respect nature. The beast of the movie is not the lion, really, it's mankind.
Yeah, and it's like, in the end, like we can't blame nature, it is what we, it's what we do in nature, and taking their lands and poaching them, and in the end, they're going to strike back like the climate is doing, You can't blame the tsunami, like it's a course of actions. It doesn't start there.